Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Lauren from Guthrie and Ganny, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the live recording of the question and answer session that I did over on the Instagram platform on Monday the 29th of January 2024. So I'm going to be sharing with you the latest updates from the G&G shop floor, loads of lovely new fabrics, answering some of your dressmaking and sewing questions. So lots of advice and tips and pattern and fabric combinations as well. So lots of inspiration coming up as always. If you are watching here on YouTube and you'd like to ask a question or leave a comment for me to include in a future session, please just leave them in the comments below. And if you would like to get a quick answer on anything, the best way is always to email the shop. So I'll pop the contact details in the description to this video as well. All of these fabrics are available on the website depending on when you're watching this video. Some of them might not be live yet, but they are going to be going on the website over the next few days. So I'll switch over to the live recording now. I hope you enjoy and I'll see you very soon. Hello, good evening everyone. Lovely to see you all for another live Q&A on this Monday evening. What are we on now? The 29th of January, almost finally at the end of January. Yay! Only a few days left. So thank you for joining, and if you are ready for just a nice, fun, light-hearted hour of sewing and dressmaking and fabric chat, then you're in the right place. I'm going to be answering all of your sewing and dressmaking questions over the next hour. I've got loads of beautiful fabrics from around the shop as well. A lot of them are new ones, so you get to see some of them as well. So yeah, lots of fabric and sewing inspiration coming up. So yeah, it's lovely to see y'all. So thank you for joining. And let's hear where you're from as well. I always love to hear how worldwide we are on a Monday evening. We've got Tracy from Mississippi in the USA joining. Hi Tracy. And yeah, it is lovely to see y'all. And also was really lovely to see so many of you at the sample sale this weekend as well. So for the past 3 days, Friday evening and then Saturday and Sunday, we had a really sort of special event in the shop, something we've not done before. So it was a sample sale. It was like a sample room clearance sale from one of our suppliers, where we had loads of cut lengths of really amazing fabrics. And yet loads of you came to visit the shop, and it was so nice to see y'all. I love it when the shop's nice and busy and full of chatter and excitement about sewing things. So yeah, thank you to everybody who came. I loved seeing you and chatting to you. So we've got New Jersey, the Netherlands, we've got Bearwood, made it to Edinburgh after visiting the shop on Sunday. Good, I'm glad you made it there safely. Bedfordshire, Tamworth, Ireland, Solihull. So we've got quite local, a few people in Devon and Brighton and Toulouse, Northumberland and Norfolk, Norway, Herefordshire, all over the place. Rye in East Sussex and Shrewsbury, Tullibody in the Bahamas. I'm actually in Coventry, a girl can dream. Oh, you had me excited there. The Bahamas sounds lovely at this time of year. I'm in Wiltshire. Well, thank you for joining everyone. So yeah, those of you that couldn't make the sample sale, or maybe if you were planning to come and you couldn't, you know, plans change, whatever, or maybe if it's just a bit too far for you to come, if you're in Ireland or Mississippi or somewhere far away, or Indiana or even Aberdeenshire, that's pretty far, and you wanted to take part in the sample sale, then there is still a chance. We are going to be putting some of the leftover fabric on the website. It'll probably be a few weeks before we get to do that. It's obviously quite a lot of work to like photograph them all and everything, but we will be making some of the sample sale fabrics available online. So yeah, just make sure you're signed up to our newsletter so that you get all of the information about that as well. Just working out logistics of that. I'm in Portugal. That sounds lovely, Sue. I wish I was in the Bahamas too. Hi from Stroud. Hello. So yeah, that is the sample sale. And then I did also spot, I think, was it you, Janet, that said nice top. So we have had so many new fabrics come in. They came in like really last minute before the sample sale last week. So I think it was on Thursday. Got 2 huge deliveries of fabric. We really quickly wanted to like get them out onto the shop floor so that everybody coming at the weekend could see them. So there is so many new fabrics coming your way online over the next few days. the rest of the week and into next week as well. And what I'm wearing is one of the new fabrics. So sometimes when new fabrics come in, I literally get so taken with something that I can't really think about anything else, and I just get some like this thing stuck in my head. So we had this fabric come in. It's the snuggly sweatshirting, so it's like really kind of thick and cozy. It's like our heaviest sweatshirting that we've got, and we've had it in like a black and a blue and a cream, and I think I can't remember, maybe like a sagey colourway before as well. I've made a Sew House 7 toaster version 2 in the black one a while ago, which is just so cozy and warm. Anyway, we've now got it in this amazing coral colour. It's like so bright, it really just makes me happy when I look at this colour. And then we've also got the matching ribbing that goes with it as well. So this is a Megan Nielsen Jarrah jumper, which I've made like so many times before. We've done it as a kit before, so I've already got the pattern pieces ready, and it's so easy, like a front, back, sleeve, neckband, hembands. I just sewed it on the overlocker and it comes together really quick. It's like a really quick, satisfying make, and honestly it's so warm. So yeah, this is one of the new fabrics. It won't be online just yet, but it will be going on over the next few days. So yeah, if you fancy a really snuggly, nice, bright jumper for the spring, then yeah, you can also make it too. We've got someone else from Indiana here. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm wearing for anybody who's interested. And then the other things that I've got to tell you, so if you can come to events that we've got on in the shop, we have another 2 coming up, one in February and one in March. So we've got a demonstration of the Lutterlow golden rule pattern system, which I'll maybe go into detail in another time. I don't want to take up too much of the live question time talking about that just now, but the details, it's on the Wednesday the 21st of February, and it's like an hour demonstration in the evening, so you can come to the shop will be open, so you can have a look around there as well if you want to. And then yeah, just a little fun evening out. We'll have some nice tea and coffee and cake and that sort of thing. So yeah, you can book the tickets for that. And then also this week we'll be putting the tickets up for the Mimiquins demonstration, which is going to be on Saturday the 9th of March. So that is where they very amazingly can like scan your body and make a tailor's mannequin, like a dummy, that is exactly of your body. It's very clever. But again, I'll go into more detail about that in another setting, but I just wanted to let you know that there are more fun reasons to come and visit us here at G&G coming up very soon. And okay, somebody's saying, do you have the matching ribbing for the other colours? I'll need to check. I think we do. I'm pretty sure we have it for the cream anyway. But yeah, if we don't, it is something that we can order. So yeah, somebody's asking how much is the fabric a metre. I'm really sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I didn't bring the bowl of it over because it's quite bulky and I thought I could just show you from here, so apologies that I don't have that answer for you. But yeah, it will be online soon, and then you can check it out there. Okay, so the other thing that I did want to let you know about is that you can also go to a blog post summary that's of the live video as well. So that's where we'll sort of round up like patterns and fabrics that I mentioned and everything as well. So if you hear me chat about something in the live and maybe you miss it, or you just want like a recap of what's been in the live, you can head over to the blog as well. That will be up by Wednesday, all going to plan, so you can see the like last week's one there as well, and I sort of list all of the questions that I cover in that live too. And then I realised I really got my weeks mixed up, and I thought I just forgot how blooming long January is basically, and it's still another week until the next Sewing Society kit release, because obviously the 31st is Wednesday, so it means that the first Wednesday of February is actually like quite late in February. So yeah, it's still another week and a couple of days till the new kit release, but yeah, I think from talking to people at the weekend anyway, a lot of you are ready for it. It's going to be a nice like ease you into it. I would say that it's like going to be, might be a new fabric for you to try, but it's nice and easy to work with, really satisfying, just a good project to maybe like kickstart your year if you're struggling to sort of know what project to start with. So yeah, 2 new kits coming out a week on Wednesday, so make sure you're signed up to the newsletter for that. Somebody's asking, where is the blog? If you go to the link in my profile, and then you can access the blog that way. So it's on the website, the G&G website, and the link to that is in my profile. There's like a little link tree with everything there. Okay, so there was a couple of comments that were left on the recording that I put on, because I always put the recording of the live up on YouTube. So there's a few comments from there last week that were on some of the things we were talking about, because one of the questions was about using a pattern and then it being very different when you use different types of fabric. So this person said, I think one of the best examples of a pattern changing appearance based on fabric choice is the Dirndl Mayo Sotis. If you sew it in a weighty linen or cotton, it is an oversized dress which stands away from the body. In a viscose, it is figure-hugging classic shirt dress shape, and I love it for this reason. So yeah, that is interesting to know. And then we were also talking about coats for boiled wool, and somebody recommended the Parker coat by Style Arc is very good and simple for boiled wool as well. So yeah, if you're looking to make a boiled wool coat, then that is maybe one to look up. Okay, so the questions that were sent in beforehand, I'll try and get through them as well. There are quite a few, but I think some of them are a little bit quick to answer. So yeah, if you do have any questions as I'm chatting along, please feel free to ask away. I don't always know the answer off the top of my head, so apologies if I don't know it immediately. But yeah, if there is anything you want to ask as I'm chatting, please do just chip in, or if you've got any experience that you can answer the question yourself, because I know that a lot of you have made things that relate to the questions too. Okay, so the first one, some of you might have some advice for this as well. The first one was quite general. I want to get into dressmaking. Do you have any advice or tips? Where to start? So I suppose it depends if you've done any sewing at all before. So if you've maybe done sewing but you've just not specifically done dressmaking type of sewing, then that is sort of one question or one thing to kind of think about in the first place. If you're really like not done really much sewing at all, then obviously getting the right sort of tools and equipment is going to be a good starting point. Sewing machine, for example, and then also making sure that you've got an iron and an ironing board too. You might find that a bit surprising, but it does make a big difference when you're dressmaking if you've got a good iron and an ironing board. And then also just making sure that you've got some like basic sort of sewing tools. So if you go onto the website and you type, I checked that this search would come up earlier, so hopefully you can find it okay. If you just go to the search bar on the website, the link in my profile, and just put in essentials and look at the blog post results, then you'll see like a little blog post article that I did that was like on my sort of essential sewing tools for dressmaking. So you can check that out as well, so you can see the things that you definitely need for dressmaking. But other than that, then having a look at some of the online courses that are available from some of the independent pattern companies are really useful. Or I can also just recommend some general sewing patterns or sewing pattern companies that are like really nice and beginner friendly. So Closet Core have an online course that you can take that includes a couple of basic patterns. There's a top and a skirt pattern that's part of that as well, so then that will sort of talk you through everything there. Nice easy makes too. Generally the Tilly and the Buttons patterns are very beginner friendly and they really break everything down. So something like the Stevie top or the Jamie pyjamas are both really nice easy projects to try for the first time for dressmaking. So Liberated, I've also got like a beginner's course and some really nice easy patterns too. I know that Seamwork have lots of tutorials. Helen's Closet have some really nice simple patterns. The Ashton Top's a nice easy one, and those instructions are like very full and detailed as well. So there's definitely lots of resources out there. Nicola is suggesting try finding a sewing course if you want to get into sewing. It really helps to be taught the basics and get some encouragement. Yeah, definitely. If you are able to find a sewing course local to you, then yeah, definitely like picking it up in person can sort of speed the process up a little bit. You also have to be a bit more disciplined if you're doing an online course, don't you? And then Viv is saying a beginner tip: don't skip on the quality of the fabric. Super cheap stuff is a nightmare to sew and often looks a bit rubbish afterwards. Yep, very good point. I would agree. Start to Stitch has lots of amazing courses ranging from beginners to intermediate, and then a stretch course too. Make sure to follow all the steps. It makes a big difference. Look on YouTube. I also do have lots of like videos on my own YouTube channel as well, like lots of little sort of tip videos. And another good thing to sort of start to like increase your awareness of or get your head round as well when you start dressmaking is learning about the different types of fabric. So a few years ago I think there was about 4 different posts that were kind of like fabric focus posts. So it just explains about different types of fabric and shows examples of them as well, the types of things that you can make with them. And starting to learn about different types of fabrics can really help you on your dressmaking journey as well. So it's a very exciting time if you want to learn how to dressmake, because there's just so many inspiring, nice things out there to help you along the way. Okay, so the next question was tips on getting a clean buttonhole. I use fray check, but they still look so messy. So yeah, fray check it's almost a little bit like a glue. It's in like a little sort of pot that you can put on, and it's meant to stop the fabric from fraying. Obviously some fabrics just generally do fray more than others. You can get a buttonhole cutter, which you use with a self-healing mat. It's kind of like a little chisel. We have clover ones that we sell online and in the shop. And yes, so you can get a really nice clean cut with a buttonhole cutter. And then really it's a bit, if your fabric is fraying quite a little bit, then it's really about getting in there and just sort of trimming away some of the threads. Even if you do use a buttonhole cutter, if you sort of like pick at it a bit, some threads might come a little bit loose. The other thing that you could do as well is look at the stitch length on your buttonhole setting. So it might be that as the machine is forming the buttonhole and it's making those little zigzags like in the rectangle shape around the buttonhole, that you actually want them to be a bit closer together. So you'd want to reduce the stitch length of the buttonhole setting on your machine, and that can make that stitching a bit denser, so it's almost like it just sort of binds the edges of the fabric a little bit more as well. So I hope that helps. Then the next one was, do you offer an online course for grading necklines up, as some patterns can be quite revealing? So I don't have an online course specifically for that. It is quite a fairly easy thing to do, and there are lots of different tutorials out there that will show you how to do it. Obviously it depends on the shape of the neckline, but if you're wanting to raise it up, then essentially you're going to need to get another bit of pattern paper and work out how much higher up you want it. So yeah, if anybody's used like a specific tutorial that they found really useful for that, then let me know. But just generally another thing that I would say to watch out for is if you're changing the shape of the neckline, is just watch that it doesn't then affect how you take the garment on and off, because if the neckline is a certain size and it's the type of garment that you just pull on and off over your head, obviously if you raise the neckline or change it, it might make the neckline opening smaller, in which case then you might not be able to pull it on and off over your head. So then you're looking at adding in some other kind of like opening or fastening or something, so that it means that you can, in order to get it on and off, you can make the neckline a little bigger. So just so yeah, just be aware of that as well. Okay, so some more tips on getting started. Also, take your time and don't rush. Every time I put a grommet in, I rewatch your YouTube video it's saved. Oh, that's good. I still refer back to your fabric blogs. Excellent. Don't be afraid to get it wrong. Very good advice. We all make mistakes even after many years of sewing. Very true. I also make mistakes as well. I agree, embrace the unplanned bespoke features. It's never a mistake in sewing, it's the opportunity to do something different, yeah, or just learn something. I think that can generally hold a lot of people back, is that the fear of getting something wrong could sort of stop you, or stop you from pushing yourself a bit or trying new things. So yeah, definitely don't be scared to get it wrong, because, you know, generally most things are fixable or salvageable in some way. Okay, so the next question was any idea of how to do a forward shoulder adjustment on the Sew Over It Estelle dress. This is a jersey dress, and it's quite fitted sort of over the bust. It's got a really nice sort of asymmetrical kind of tie detail on it, but essentially it's just like a regular shoulder seam with a set-in sleeve, and if you feel like you want to do a forward shoulder adjustment, it's basically where you're moving the seam of where it sits. So it's essentially what you want to do is like add on more to the back and take away from the front, so then in total you end up with the same. Like in theory it wouldn't really affect like the total sort of distance that is over here, or like the shape of the sleeve head as it fits in. It's just like where the seam actually sits is different. So again, you're going to need like a little bit of pattern paper or whatever, some paper, so that you can you know, you can maybe if you've made one already and then you know you want to do a forward shoulder adjustment, you can see where it's sitting and then see where you want it to sit. So it might be like 1.5 centimeters or a couple of centimeters. So you're literally just like adding that onto the back, but then taking it away from the front, and that's how you would do a forward shoulder adjustment. So hopefully that makes sense and you can give it a try. Okay, somebody's suggesting Megan Nielsen do a great tutorial to raise the neckline of their Darling Ranges dress. Okay, that sounds good, and then I'm sure it would be like applicable. You could just sort of apply it to whatever pattern you were working on as well. Okay, Carol's saying if something doesn't make sense and you can't figure it out, walk away, do something else and then go back to it. I did this yesterday. Definitely like a fresh pair of eyes the next day or something. Even after a cup of tea, you can definitely change your perspective on things. I would completely agree. Okay, so the next question was, I'm going to be a first-time nana, congratulations, in the summer, and I have patterns for bibs, mittens, etc., and would love some fabric recommendations. I want something that will be super soft but wash and dry well. So I would suggest probably looking at cotton jersey. You can get organic cotton jersey as well if you wanted that, and we've got a couple of new ones that have come in that I wanted to show you that are very cute. I think would make really sweet little bibs. So there's this one here which is blue with some nice little clouds on it. This is Sky Summer Daydream organic cotton jersey. It's not online just yet, but it will be very soon. So that would be nice as well, and it's just, you know, it's nice and easy to wash them. It can even go in the tumble dryer as well. Just make sure you pre-wash it. If you think that things might get put in the tumble dryer afterwards, pre-wash it in the washing machine and then tumble dry it to dry it, and then that will get the shrinkage out of the way. And then we've also got this one here, which is a fun sort of like nice different animals on it. This comes in a couple of colorways as well. This is the pink collage zoo cotton jersey fabric, $14.40 a meter, and then we've also got that in another colorway as well that's maybe like a bit more sort of neutral colors. But yeah, cotton jersey is a good one for that type of thing. Okay, the next question was, I was wondering if the millerain dry wax cotton would be suitable for a trench coat. Do you have any classic trench coat patterns you could recommend? In terms of classic trench coat patterns, the named Isla trench is quite a popular one. There's also the Grainline Portland trench, which is not long, but it still has quite trench coat features, like it's got the storm flaps and stuff. It's really nice. And then I also saw the Vicky Sews has one. It's called the Gladys coat. And then there's the Cashmerette Chilton trench as well. I'm just going to get the roll of that out, because it's kind of buried here, but I did bring it out to the side. Got so many various things to show you here, but I'll get onto them shortly. This is it here. I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I actually think it might be maybe a little bit too stiff for a trench. It wouldn't really like move around that much. It is very, very like structured. the millerain wax cotton. Like you can see, it's almost like it is standing up on its own here. So I don't know, it probably wouldn't be my first preference for making a trench. Sorry about that, if you had your heart set on it. But yeah, hopefully some of those trench patterns spark an idea. Okay, somebody's saying, I made my baby's bibs with cotton jersey backed with soft toweling fabrics for absorption, and it always worked really well. Yeah, that's a good tip to add on, that toweling fabric at the back. Unfortunately, we don't have any, but I'll look into that, because I think we were going to get some before and then we ended up not getting any. But yeah, it should be quite easy for us to get. Okay, the next question was any nursing friendly patterns. So if you go onto our website, again, the link in the profile, and if you search maternity and look at the blog results, you'll see a post that I did that is like a roundup of different non-maternity, non-nursing sewing patterns that I personally found were compatible with being pregnant and nursing. And the reason that I personally sort of look to patterns that aren't specific for maternity and nursing is because, you know, when I make something, like generally my clothes last like a really, really long time. And I feel like when things are quite specific to that, then I feel like I would only really want to wear them for that time, and then obviously then I probably wouldn't want to wear them afterwards. So that's why I tend to kind of just make things that are maybe like a little bit more versatile. And basically what I did was, like, I bought some vest tops, or you can make them as well, that are quite long, and then just have garments that are loose or that are stretchy so that you can lift them up, but then you've got like a layer on underneath. And that's what I do. But sew over it, have the lily top, and it is specifically a nursing top as well, which looks quite nice if you want something that is very specific for nursing. Okay, the next question was fabric recommendations for the Southport dress. I was presuming this was the True Bias sort of sundress, like a sundress, really, like a sleeveless sundress. It's got a little button band at the front and then a channel for gathered waist. And then you can have a skirt either sort of shorter or longer. We actually did this as a kit way back. I think it might have even been like maybe like the first summer that we did the kits. You can use lots of different fabrics for that. I'll show you these ones while they're here anyway. So this one is a really nice viscose linen, but it's got a lovely pinstripe in it as well. It's gorgeous. It's the same type of viscose linen that we've had in lots of plains before. So it's navy, but yeah, it's just got a nice pinstripe in it. It does also come in a black, and it comes in a crew as well. And then, or you could make it in just like a regular printed viscose, like a woven viscose. This one's been really popular so far. It's got these really cool sort of, oops, thing pinged away there. These really cool sort of abstract sort of line drawing faces on it. And then we've also got like a white one with black lines to draw the faces. This one's navy here. So it's just a plain wee viscose. It's nice and sort of floaty. So if you made that in the Southport, then, you know, it's going to sort of like, the skirt's going to sort of drape and swish a little bit more. And then I'm just going to lay that down because it's lost its elastic band. When we did it with the kit, it was almost like a sort of chambray fabric that we did. We've got quite a few different colours of them. This one is a linen cotton and it's sky blue, so that's just like a nice classic sort of fabric for a sundress. And then yeah, we've got, I'll just show you the bolts. We've got it in quite a few different colours too. That's sort of like a minty green, a kind of darker indigo sort of denim colour, and then a nice lilac colour as well. And they're a little bit more structured, so it will like hold the shape a little bit more, but it still looks really nice, because yeah, that's the kind of fabric that we used for the kit. So hopefully lots of ideas there. Okay, the next question was, what is the difference between the dry wax and the wet finish wax? So the difference is really, like, literally when you touch it, the wet wax like does feel really, really waxy, and it can also sort of like leach and bleed as well. So like say you put it next to a bit of paper, the paper would kind of go like a bit like you would notice it on that, whereas the dry wax just has like a drier finish to it really. So yeah, that millerain wax one that I showed you earlier, I'm going to pop that down as well, I'm going to cause an avalanche here. This is a dry wax, and yeah, like you can touch it and then you don't really like feel it on your hand or anything. It also doesn't really crease as much, whereas wet waxes tend to get like a lot more character to them. Like they'll, you'll see sort of crease lines or kind of scrunch lines. So when you're actually just working with it and sewing with it, it can kind of like look like it's sort of been bashed about a little bit more. And you can even that out by heating it up, and then it sort of it heats the wax up and it sort of evens it out. We do have another type of wax, which is, it's like you can definitely get wetter waxes than this, but this one's the ruby wet finish wax. It's lighter weight than the other millerain one, but yeah, it's just when you touch it, it does just feel a lot wetter and like almost sort of stickier. And then when you kind of like scrunch it up, you just like notice more kind of kinks and creases on it, because there's more wax on it to get sort of moved around and like change the texture of it. Somebody's saying Merchant Mills recommend that you use a barrier fabric in the lining with a wet wax, so your possessions, if made into a bag, don't get stained. Yeah, that's a good tip. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that helps. Somebody is saying, I fell in love with the Navy Faces fabric at the weekend and bought some. No idea what to make with it. You can just enjoy looking at it just now. I have just made the orchid midi and had to put a security popper, so can safely say it would be great for nursing. Okay, I can't picture what that looks like, but I'm guessing it's a wrap. In which case, yeah, you could just open the wrap. Is the Faces fabric online yet? I don't think it is. I'll try and let you know when something's new. And just because we've had like so many, a lot of stuff isn't online yet. But there is going to be like a new fabrics roundup on my YouTube channel on Wednesday, and everything should be online by then. So yeah, it'll maybe be a few days if you can't find anything. Which fleece would you suggest for a baby sleep suit, and do you have a band with the poppers for the opening? We don't have a band with the poppers for the opening, but we do have the Prim plastic poppers, which are kind of the same thing. You just have to like apply them individually. And probably for a baby sleep suit, I would just suggest a cotton jersey as opposed to a fleece for as in, do you mean the sleep suit, or do you mean like the kind of thing that you sort of take them out in? If they're actually like going to bed in it, I would probably just make it in a cotton jersey. But if it's like a kind of fleecy thing that you want to make, the kind of suit, like the teddy bear sort of suits that they wear. I can't think off the top of my head that we've got anything that would be good for that, because again, you want something that's cotton, so it's going to be breathable. Okay, so the next question was, any pattern suggestions for 1 metre of medium weight linen, 150 centimetres wide. I'm a size UK 14. I was thinking maybe the Helen's Closet Ashton top might be nice for that. It's a nice simple classic one, doesn't use much fabric. Or the Assembly Line cuff top could be nice as well. It's another one that doesn't really use that much fabric. Then we had a request for a cute trouser pattern suggestions for a cotton tencel fabric. So if it's got a tencel in it, it's probably got a bit of drape, because tencel things tend to have a bit of sort of draping movement to them. The Merchant & Mills Eve, quite a classic, would be nice for that sort of fabric. Or the Helen's Closet Arden pants as well would be nice. Okay, so the next question was an easy lined coat pattern for the first time, please. So I the ones I've made before that I think the thing is with a coat is that it can feel like it's a lot, especially if it's lined, but usually it's coats are quite often not quite as hard as you think. It's just that there's more seams to them because they've got a lining as well. The grain line Yates is actually pretty straightforward. I thought that came together quite quickly, and fairly easy, sort of straightforward. We did that as a kit a few years ago, so my top tips video is available for that. And then also the Closet Core Claire as well. It's got a nice sort of funnel neck and raglan sleeves. They're a bit easier to set in as well. And again, I think that comes together pretty nicely too. The Paper Cut Nova is another good one. It's quite oversized, so less worrying about fitting it. And then it also doesn't have, it's more like a sort of cocoon coat, so it doesn't have to have any like fasteners on it or anything, so then you don't need to worry about like trying to do buttonholes and like really thick fabric or anything. Okay, Megan's saying definitely cotton for sleeping in. You have to be careful with maintaining temperatures, etc. Indeed, very true. Okay, the next question was, can you recommend denim and non-denim fabrics for the Ilford? So that's the Friday Pattern Company Ilford. So when we did the Ilford as a kit, we used the cotton twill for that one, which comes in loads of really nice colours. This is it here. This is it in the old blue colourway. It's 15-20 a metre, and this works really nicely for more lighter weight spring version. So yeah, if you just search cotton twill on the website, you'll see all the different colours. So that's a non-denim option. If you did want denim, then the Cone Mill selvage denim that we've got is just a nice classic one. It's quite narrow though, so what I would suggest that you do to work out your pattern, how much fabric you actually need, is get your pattern pieces ready in the size that you're going to make, and then because you can see the width here, it's quite short. Unfortunately it's not got a tag in it, so I can't remember exactly how short it is off the top of my head. It looks a bit less than a metre. But yeah, you just need to sort of mark that out on your table, and then you can lay your pattern pieces on to see how much you need. And then we do have some other denims which are more like just normal wider width ones. We do a rigid denim, which is just like a non-stretch denim basically. Comes in various colours. This particular one's the black, so it's the black 11.7 ounce rigid cotton denim fabric, $13.90 a metre. It's just quite a nice, simple, easy, classic denim. And then, oh, that one's going to fall over now. And then this one here is a really lovely, nice blue one. It's a nice weight as well. This is the indigo rigid cotton denim fabric, but it's 152 centimetres wide. And it's a really, really nice one as well. It would be a nice weight for the Ilford. Okay, let me just pop some of these rolls down, because they start to kind of cause a bit of an avalanche sometimes. Okay, so the next question was a simple mini skirt pattern and fabric to sew for my teen. So the Sew Over It Ava skirt is like a really nice, really simple, classic skirt. It's easy to make it shorter. You can take the pockets out, so it's nice and simple, and you can make that in lots of different fabrics. So you could use that cotton twill that I showed you before that comes in lots of different colours. You could use a nice corduroy. This is the nice chunky one here. Again, comes in lots of different colours as well, so that would be nice for a little mini skirt as well. Or you could use wool fabric. So this one here is a really lovely, nice wool, which would make a cute mini skirt. This is the teal subtle texture wool fabric. It's 100% wool, so for a warmer version of a nice skirt, that one would be nice. Or you could use denim as well. So any of the denims that I just showed you for the Ilfords, you could also make a little skirt out of them too. That would also work. So lots of ideas there. And then the next one was any ideas for a cardigan pattern in a drapey knit fabric. So there's the Seamwork Oslo one, which is really nice. Becca, who works here, has got a version of that in a drapey knit, and it looks very nice. And then there's the Helen's Closet Blackwood as well. We did that one as a kit a couple of years ago in quite sort of drapey fabric. It works nicely too. So yeah, a few ones to have a look at there. And then the next question was fabrics for the assembly line cap and sleeve vest for smart summer layering and snazzy lining. So I was thinking if you want it for the summer, then using either the ramie fabric, where's it gone now, which is this one here, which is a bit like a linen. It's just got a bit of a different sort of texture to it. It's a really nice weight. It comes in lots of different colours as well. This particular one is the indigo, I think, washed indigo textured ramie fabric. It's $14.90 a metre. And then we do also have the enzyme linen blend fabric as well, which would be nice for it too. This one's the soft turquoise, but again, it comes in lots of other colourways as well. Depending on, yeah, we might not have all of our normal colourways of this, but they are on the way. The other one that I thought that you could use as well is that we do a really nice range of matte stretch cottons. This is the wash teal, matte wash teal stretch cotton fabric. So it's still a woven, it's just got a bit of elastane in it, which is why it's got a stretch, but it feels really nice. It's almost got a bit of a brush texture to it. And I think that would be nice as well. It would hold the structure of that garment really nicely. And then I think because you're saying that it's for a summer layering piece, then I think just going for a lining that is like a nice bright cotton would be lovely, because it's got shorter sleeves, so you don't really need the slipperiness to like get it on and off. If you're wearing it in the summer, then you're probably just wearing it with like a little top or blouse, so nice and easy to get on and off. This particular one here is the Nerida Hansen Jade Floral Fest Cotton Poplin Fabrics, $11.50 a metre. Lots of nice snazzy colours in that. But yeah, you could even treat yourself to a Liberty lining as well. They would all work really nicely with any of those fabrics that I suggested too. And then the next question was, would you attempt pattern matching when making a shirt with the stamped star viscose crepe? I couldn't actually find this one to bring it out, so sorry that I can't show it to you. But my answer would be no. I think it's small scale enough that you wouldn't need to. I don't think you need to worry about it. I think it should be fine. Okay, somebody's asking, could you suggest a cheap suitable fabric to make a toile of the Eleanor trousers? I definitely need to adjust the seat, etc., and don't want to go straight into the kit fabric. I can't remember what it's called now, but we did have a denim that was that had the right amount of stretch, because you do need something that is quite stretchy for the Eleanors. Like even that matte stretch cotton that I just showed you, it's not quite stretchy enough. You do need something that is pretty stretchy. If you send me a direct message after this, I'll find you the denim that we had that would be good for it. Oh, thank you, Megan. It's the washy indigo stretch denim. We've got so many different types of denims, I literally can't remember all of them. Okay, so if you search for the washy indigo stretch denim, that's the one I'm talking about. Thank you, Megan, for helping me out there. Okay, so the next question was fabric and pattern of the shirt you wore in the story on Sunday. So that was when I was asking for your questions for the live, and it was the Paper Theory Olia shirt that I was wearing, and I made it last summer in a yarn dyed linen. So it's a linen fabric, and it was a pinky sort of colourway. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that one again, but we do have some other yarn dyed linens, and we've also got like cotton linens as well. Those cotton linens that I was showing at the beginning would also be give the same sort of effect as the one that I wore. Actually, talking about the Olia, the other fabric that I wanted to show you, which is new, so it's not online yet, but it will be later in the week, is that last summer when we did the Olia as a kit, it was this really beautiful striped viscose fabric that we had in the kit, and then we couldn't really get any more because a lot of you were asking to buy it by the metre after the kits sold out so quickly. But they've brought back a bigger colour range of it this summer. So it's the same type of fabric, it's 100% viscose, and it's got these stripes woven into it, so they're not printed on. And it comes in some really lovely colourways. So this is obviously like a classic kind of blue stripe, feels so soft, it's got beautiful drape to it. But we've got a nice green one, a pink one, like a darker darker kind of blue one, might even be sort of like a charcoal stripe, and then a lilac-y one as well. So yeah, it's such a lovely fabric. So yeah, if you did miss out on the Olia kit last time and you want to recreate that, or maybe you got the kit but you want it in other colours, then we have got lots of the fabric here, lots of different colour choices. I absolutely love it. I've literally worn that shirt so much. So yeah, I will be adding that to my sewing wish list, although who knows if I'll ever get time to do that. Oh, I love the Olia fabric. I know it's just so nice. I'm currently working on the Olia and was eyeing up that stripy fabric on Saturday. Yeah, it is very nice. It's very nice. Okay, so the next question was fabric suggestions for the peony dress for my son's wedding in May, please. So I was presuming this was the fabric godmother one. So I've got a couple that I think would be nice ones for a wedding guest to dress. This one here, in fact, it was somebody else asked, I was going to suggest this for something else as well. I think somebody wanted, yeah, I'd love to see suggestions of a drapey fabric for the Style Arc Trini dress. This looked really nice as well. It had sort of like gathered bits at the neckline. I think it was sleeveless or maybe like slightly grown on sleeves, gathered at the waistline, and then quite a long skirt. So for both of those dresses, the peony dress and that Style Arc one as well, this is a viscose crepe, but it's one of those crepes that's got quite a sort of smooth surface to it. Some viscose crepes a little bit more, I don't want to say rough, but there's just a bit more textured. This one's a lot more subtle. Now the scale on this one is very, very big. I'm going to have to stand back to try and show you how big the scale on it is, but I think in like a longer dress it would, you know, it would look really stunning, and a gorgeous colour selection as well. There is another colourway of this too, which has got like pinkies and oranges and a black in it as well. So again, they'll be on the website over the next few days. So that is one option there. And then the other option that I thought would be good, I'm just going to try and pop that down because it's hard to balance it back up again, is this one here, which I think is also really lovely and nice and bright, such a vibrant pink. It's the cerise and navy floral burst stretch viscose fabric. So it's got a little bit of elastane in it, which gives it a stretch, but you'd still treat it as a woven, and still make woven patterns with it. But I think it would be really nice as well. As nice abstract one, you wouldn't have to pattern match that or anything. Good weight too, you wouldn't need to line it, you wouldn't need to line that other one either. So yeah, a few options there. Okay, the next one was, would the navy viscose blended knit work for the Jarrah? So that is, the Jarrah is what I'm wearing just now, and the viscose blended knit is this fabric here. Oh, it's going to make the light do something weird again. I've got this in quite a few colours. It came back in quite a few of the more sort of brighter spring colours as well. There's like a minty one, a minty green one, and like a light pink too. Yes, I do think it would. I do think it would, and I would just use the same fabric for the neckband and the cuffs and stuff as well. It's quite drapey, as you can see. It flops around quite a lot. So yeah, it would, you know, obviously the Jarrah's got that, it's got that drop sleeve. So then, you know, there is like a little bit more sort of fabric under here, but it would just all sort of drape down. So yeah. Okay, the next question was, where am I? Looking for a plain fabric for the Tilly and the Buttons Marnie. So that's quite a cute little sort of detailed top. It's got some shearing in it, and it's got like a little tie at the front, and some nice little frills as well. So we have got the plain viscose crinkle fabric, which is the same one that we used for the kit in December. This is the sea pine crinkle viscose fabric, and I think this would be nice and lightweight enough. It would be easy to do the shearing elastic on it as well. It would gather really nicely in that one. Nice and floppy, and it's plain, but it's got a nice texture to it as well. So yeah, there's quite a few different colours of that one. Then the next one was, would the red and orchid floral viscose be suitable for the Elodie dress? So that is actually the fabric that I just showed you that was navy and cerise. it comes in another colourway as well, which is this one too. And yeah, I think it would be suitable for the LED. It is a heavier weight viscose because it's a twill, but it does still drape and it flops around really nicely and it feels nice and soft. So I think it would still be suitable for the LED. With it, you know, it's got those, well, you either have sort of like grown on sleeves, don't you, or sort of longer, more baggy ones, but I think it would still hang really nicely in that. Okay, and then the next question was, I'm looking to make the Jessica blazer and the Sasha trousers as a suit. Any fabric recommendations? So the only thing I would say about combining those two patterns to make a suit is that with the sashes you have to use a fabric that has got stretch in it, because that's what they're designed to have. So it probably maybe like limits your choices a little bit more, because you need a fabric, if you're making a suit and they're going to be the same, then you need a fabric that's got a bit of stretch in it for the sashes. If you switch to the Mitchell trousers, then they are designed for non-stretch fabric, so then you'd probably have just a few more different fabric options if you did that combination to make a suit instead. But if you definitely wanted to stick with the sashes, then the matte stretch fabric that I was showing you earlier, I think it would be okay. I think it's a nice one for the sashes, and yeah, you could still make the Jessica blazer with that as well. So it comes in various different colours. It's the matte stretch cottons. So if you search that on the website, then you'll see all of them. And then the other one that we've got that would be, again, would be okay for the sashes, because it's got a little bit of stretch in it too, is this one here. It's really soft, it's nice and brushed a little bit. And it comes in a couple of colourways. This one's the navy herringbone stretch cotton fabric, and then it comes in like a sort of charcoal, sort of kind of grey colour as well. So that's another option if you definitely want the sashes and to have the stretch. And then we've got, if you want something a bit more funky, this one's actually in the sale. This is like a patterned stretch cotton. So this is the Accrued Ditsy Leopard on Ochre stretch cotton sateen fabric. It's a little bit lighter weight than the other ones, but yeah, you could make sashes and the Jessica with that as well. So yeah, if you went with the Mitchells, then you go with like a nice lightweight wool as well, which would be nice, or a suiting, which would be good. I'm just hemming my Mitchell trousers. They are lovely in wool with the wide leg version. Yeah, no, I love the wide leg version. I kind of made them like just as my body was starting to change with the pregnancy, so I've not really had much of a chance to wear them, but next winter I'm looking forward to being able to get into those Mitchells. Okay, any advice for working with silk? See if you can get silk pins or very fine pins, so that it doesn't snag the fabric, and you want a nice fine needle in your machine as well, like a size 60 is good. Nice new sharp needle, it's good. I suppose it depends what type of silk it is as well. Sometimes it can help to sew the seams with like very fine tissue paper to help stabilise the fabric, and then you can sort of peel it away at the end, because it makes like a perforated line where the stitches is, so you can peel it away afterwards. Any tips on knowing where to put a dart if the bust is too baggy? I recently made the LED, but the top felt too big. Did you definitely pick the right size? I mean, the thing is with the LED, there is a lot of fabric like under there. That's just where it's sort of designed to be. But generally, like darts are sort of, you know, they kind of, they'll either sort of point up towards the fullest part of your bust or be more sort of like parallel to it. Is typically where a dart would go. So if you feel like it is helping, you know, you could kind of pinch out a dart there. It's just going to affect the length of the side seam though, in which case then it won't really match the back. But yeah, I wonder, is it maybe it's supposed to be baggy? The LED is supposed to be sort of baggy there. Melanie's saying cut out flat with a rotary cutter. Slightly lost the context of that question now, but yeah. Oh, for the silk, for sewing with silk, yeah, cut out flat with a rotary cutter. I got it now, yeah, that's also a good tip. Okay, let me check that I have answered everything. If anybody has any other last minute questions, then do let me know, and I'll see if I can squeeze them in as well. But otherwise, thank you for listening, everybody, and seeing all of the new fabrics. I'm just checking that I have actually showed you everything. So I have made a new fabrics roundup of all the new fabrics, which will be in my YouTube channel on Wednesday, and then we'll send you out a newsletter to that as well, so you can have a look at everything then. So there is going to be lots of things going online over the next few days. We might try and stagger it a bit. Literally, it's like everything's come all at once. It's like typical, isn't it? You know, you like waiting for these things to come, and then they literally came the day before the sample sale, and we were like, quick, get them tagged up, get them on the shop floor. And yeah, now we'll get them online for you as well. So that is coming up this week. And yeah. Can you use stretch cotton herringbone for the heather blazer? Yeah, I think you could. Yeah. Any last minute sewing society? Any more last minute sewing society hints? So the little sneak peek photo that I put out a couple of weeks ago, there wasn't where I put out the threads, or like I kind of put any notions kind of in there. Probably was like a little bit more sparse than it has been in other months, but maybe that's a clue in itself, that you don't need lots of various different bits to make the kits. But that doesn't mean that there's not techniques to learn. Of course, my top tips video that comes with the kit is going to be jam-packed full of useful things for you to help you get a really nice finish on your project. And yeah, it's all about learning new skills that you can use in other projects as well. But yeah, there's definitely like a theme to the fabric for both kits. So both kits use a fabric that is in the same category of fabrics. Is that a clue? You like squeezing it out of me now. I don't want to say too much, and then I'll give it away. Won't be long now. It feels like so long, because we didn't do one in January, and then just the way the dates fall. It has been a while. Thank you for your thanks, everyone. Will you be having more of the cream embroidered flower cotton voile fabric back in? Yeah, we're going to be ordering more of that today. If there's any of the new fabrics, or just any fabrics online that are showing as out of stock, or they don't have much stock, maybe you like try to order a couple of meters, but it only lets you add like 30 centimeters to your basket, probably because that's all we've got left, or actually we don't have any left. You can either sign up for a stock notification on the listing, so you just put your email address in and how much you want, and then we can let you know when it's available again, or you can just email us too, and then we can let you know when things come back. It's always useful to know what you're waiting for and looking for, because then we know how much to order of stuff. So yeah, always let us know. I followed your video for the plateau joggers last weekend, and it was very helpful. Thanks. Wonderful. Sounds like you're nice and comfy in your plateau joggers now. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Thank you for watching. You can watch back on Instagram. I'll save it to there, and then the recording will be on YouTube as well, either later tonight or tomorrow. And then you can also see the blog post roundup that we're going to do as well. So yeah, that'll just link together list all the questions that I've covered, and the fabrics and patterns that I've been mentioning as well. So have a lovely week. I hope that you get time to do lots of sewing, and I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.